Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And Shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I wanted to go into how basically, these race wars popping off, that's been big on the news. And also, like, there's basically more developments in the race war, nation versus nation prophecy, and also the RFID chip prophecy. There's this microchip that DARPA developed, or I think they developed it, and basically it basically can tell if you have a disease, if you have if you have the Rona or not, or some shit. And this is why you gotta be, they're using every justification out there. They're using all these reasons to get you to take the chip, to get you to take the mark of the beast. And that's Revelation 18, Salakia 13, starting at verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast, verse 16 actually. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their foreheads. Causes, a part of that meaning of that word there, the Greek word for cause it is prepare. He prepared them, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, receive that chip, right? It goes right into is whether you're going to be able to buy or sell too, because it's a new requirement. Oh, you have to have that so we could tell if you have the Rona or not. Because now, now it's up in the air, about whether the jab stops the Rona. Now it's up in the air, because they found cases where people still tested positive for the Rona. Wow. And this was after they had gotten the jab. Verse 17, besides it being verification that you got the jab in the first place. See, it's like basically what I've been saying, all roads lead to the RFID chip. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So no man might buy or sell, you're not going to be able to, because to buy or sell, for that reason. And also, that goes into the other ways this chip is going to be used. They'll say, oh no, it's just for detecting viruses, whatever, seeing if you have the Rona, whatever, man. Like, these devils, of course, they're going to try to downplay it, and of course they're going to try to downplay it. But we all know that this is just like they're just prototypes, and the shit they're gonna roll out, they have it can see if you have the Rona and shit, and multiple uses basically. Also, it contains your new stimulus that the government gonna give you and shit. You know, that universal basic income shit, right? Which is what they're working towards. This is why they're giving you stimulus more often, you know, because they preparing you for that universal basic income. And I could see it being set up to where, like, basically you can't get that shit without your chip. You know, it'll only be available digitally. I mean, hey, they the dollar is going that way. It's going the digital route too, cause you know, and that's what they were preparing you for when they had all these cryptocurrencies. All these cryptocurrencies were coming out, and like Bitcoin and shit. Like, that was to get you to basically fuck with digital currencies. You know, eventually the dollar, you know, would have to go digital because, hey, the dollar been going down. So, you know, I could easily see them saying, well, it's the only way that we can save the dollar. You know, just have a fucking digital dollar and shit. You know, merge it like with one of those currencies, Ripple or some shit, or Bitcoin, one of them. Just merge it together. I could easily see them doing some shit like that. You know, it wouldn't surprise me, not even one bit. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't manage to surprise me at all. You know, they did that shit, cause it seems to be where it's heading. Yeah, that seems to be that it is where it's heading. You know, a digital, a central bank digital currency. All this, UBI, you know, so basically basically they're gonna give you the money you need to survive and shit. And that's why they fucking the economy up so bad. So you have to depend on them. They'll give you the money that you need to survive and shit. So without that UBI, you'd be fucked, and the money would be digital anyways. So the only way you would be able to use it, you know, i.e. buy or sell, would be digitally with your RFID chip. You know, because, you know, they gonna be like, oh, cash too dirty. You know, they've already been pushing that. Oh, cash too dirty. Oh, credit card too dirty. Cell phone too dirty. Oh, and we need to make sure these people have their jabs too. You need to make sure, you know, you got the venom. So, and people been faking that vaccine passport shit, you know, on the dark web, you know, even digitally on the dark web, making you know, through these apps, right, making fake apps that basically, you know, imitate the that real site, you know, spoof it basically you know, they didn't get the job, but it will say that they did, you know, because it's fake, you know, it's not real, not the real app. So, you know, then the only way, you know, they're pushing towards it where they're gonna just be like, the only way that you know, they're using that as an excuse, you know, so you can understand. So they're gonna be like, the only way that we can, the only way that we can make sure you actually got the jab is if you get RFID chip in you, and you know, it will basically, you know, it will tell us, you know, they have them chip readers, and it will tell us, you know, that you got the jab and shit. Be a digital, you know, even, you know, the so-called, yeah, man, fuck YouTube algorithms, man. Even the name for this the disease that's caused, for the virus that's causing this pandemic, the name that they called it. You know, it's an acronym for Certificate of Verification Identification. Yep. It'll be that. It'll be that. Be like your ID, and it'll be a certificate that you got it. Yeah. You look into that. It's actually a fucking acronym. Yeah. That's all leading up to that verse 17, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You know, it's all leading up to that shit. Yeah. So that's more developments towards that, towards the RFID mark of the beast. You know. And like, hey, you know, these devils don't want us to bring that out. That's why they've been clipping our videos and shit, which go into that. And no wonder, you know. I had actually been flagged for that medical, you know, damn. They even saying the word might trip up the algorithm. Medical misinfo, I guess. One of my lives that I did on my old channel got flagged for that, because I brought up the RFID chip and went into it. And medical misinformation, right? They're using that shit too. You know, that's of course coming as well, you know. That's coming too, that famine of the word. We're not gonna be able to bring this out no more. It's already hard to bring it out. It's already they make it a bitch. I can't even go live like I've been trying to, and might try to again, but it wasn't letting me go live. You know, brother's channel's been getting clipped left and right. And that's Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. You know, a famine for what? That bread of life, that living water. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro, to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. You know, going all over the place. You know, well, hey, being yeah, man. You know, they're really gonna be looking for it then. You know, they be sleeping on it now. Now you 2/3, right? 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, looking like the other nations. Y'all gonna be looking around. Y'all gonna be all over the place. You know, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be trying to find that wisdom and stability. But you ain't gonna be able to find it. Verse 13, because now is your chance. While it is available to you freely, that's when you need to get it. But 2/3 of y'all won't. Yeah, that's when you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, that's when you need to get it. But yeah, like I said, 2/3 of y'all won't. Y'all gonna get cut off. Y'all gonna be cut off and die. Verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. You know. Yeah. Yeah, that day is quickly approaching, you know. Verse 14, they that swear by the sin of Samaria and say that God ordained living, you know, same people come back fulfilling them same lots. and the manner in Beersheba lived, even they shall fall and never rise up again. 2/3 gonna be cut off. Y'all are the same ones that did that. Same ones filling your same lot. Yeah, but y'all, hey, this word is no longer gonna be freely available. It's gonna be heavily restricted to where y'all can't get it. It's not gonna be, we're not gonna be able to like post the videos online because they gonna flag our shit immediately. Or it's gonna be considered, according to these devils, it's gonna be considered religious medical misinformation or some shit like that. It's gonna be considered that. I could see that happening. And these devils will probably do this. Those who have a track, they're gonna make ways to completely ban this word. Like if you done this shit, like if you violated the terms before, and they have your IP address, they're just gonna block you from making videos. So it'll be like your videos were already flagged. Whatever, like they probably already thought of something like that even before I mentioned it. They dwell on that, but they're looking for the right reasons to basically go there. They're looking for the right precedent to go there and be like, yeah, this is what we have to do. We have no choice. It's an emergency. Because that's how these devils operate. They operate using emergency powers, man. They'll say that, I know Bill of Rights, Constitution, yada 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 and shit, and we not supposed to do this, but it's an emergency though. And that's how Rome worked. When there was an emergency that happened, you had a dictator. You had basically a consul. Yup, I believe so. Basically like the president back then. He was given power to be a dictator over Rome. Eventually, that's how you had people like you had the devil Julius Caesar come up there. That's how you had him. You had the situation created for him, and then you had the emperors instead of the consuls and shit. These presidents today, they're basically like emperors. They get more powers. Like they're getting more what they did in the past, but basically under cover of darkness, basically covertly. Now they're getting justification to do it openly. That's what the New World Order is all about. Well, they just violate your rights openly. Hey, rights that were never actually given to our people. Anyways, it was given to them, but that's another story. But even those people, which basically it wasn't basically because that goes into a slave is considered a three-fifths of a man, and that was never taken out. But they tell us we're supposed to have rights, and look what they're doing. Yeah. But you have more development towards the RFID chip, and you have that famine in the word coming. So we warn y'all right now about it, but we ain't gonna be able to warn y'all about it no more. And we ain't gonna be able to be out there in them streets, because they're gonna deem us terrorists. They already have, they're just waiting for, or they're just waiting for the right moment. Basically, when they make their move, when they actually it's gonna be. Yeah, I could see them staging some type of false flag, blaming it on us. They can move. That's probably coming soon. I can see it coming like real soon. Cause you have World War III is close. You know, them tensions are heating up. Russia, shit about to pop off with Russia. So I could see in these, so Jacob's Trouble, which is all before World War III, you know, it's way closer. It's like about to happen. It's at the door. It's like it's at the door, about to kick it in, basically. You know, about to kick down the door and shit, you know. You know, just hey, you know, you have the race wars. You have the race wars popping off. Like they're just about to. The tensions are there. It's like all it takes is, and what I think is gonna happen is they're gonna end up releasing Derek Chauvin. They already have allowed the cop that did the cop that shot Jacob Blake. They already let him off the hook. He's not getting punished. He's going back on the force. He's getting his job back. They already got that. They already got that going on. You know, and then they had the cops that harassed and fucking manhandled and brutalized is the so-called black veteran. Well, actually, so-called, he's still in service. He's still in the army, right? The so-called black army lieutenant. So you have that, you know, even though this man, you know, signed up to risk his life for these devils, you know, they're still treating him like shit. He's showing you that these devils, you know, they're always gonna hate you Israelites, no matter what. But yeah, you know, you have that, and then you have that, which is already pissing people off, and you have a new shooting in Minnesota, in the same city where that shit happened. You know, now they're having a trial about it, Derek Chauvin trial. In the same city, they have, you know, in the same city, notice that, they shut, while the trial of the devil that, you know, killed George Floyd, right? Murdered George Floyd. You know, like, they're having that Derek Chauvin trial, and then at the same damn time, another unarmed Jake, is shot dead in Minnesota, the same city. Like that ain't no coincidence either. That ain't no fucking coincidence. Then releasing the bitch. They released the bitch, the Sheetamite cop that shot that Jake in Minnesota at less than 1 day. Like, and she wasn't in jail that long, and she was able to bone out quickly. That ain't no coincidence. Hey, matter of fact, that FDR, that devil, he told you there ain't no coincidences. In politics, ain't no coincidences. That shit was planned. And that's why we gotta be aware of Satan's devices. Can't be ignorant of anything big or little, you know. That's in Ecclesiasticus. But yeah, that's, hold on. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, and that's one of them right there. the psyops psyops, false flags and shit. That's one of their devices. This is one too. Basically, they want to piss off you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and as well as you Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, but especially you so-called black people, you Judites. They wanna piss y'all out the most. You know, they're doing everything possible to do it. They're pulling out all the stops.